Hello, all you freaks out there. This is Ryan, and welcome to the Freakin' Awesome Paranormal Show. Before we get started, I gotta bring in my hostess with the mostesses. First off, from Pingo Paranormal and host of the Freakin' Awesome Paranormal Show, we've got Sarah Hall Hayes,
Hello.
aka Ashley. What's up?
Yeah. Ashley's my other
Ashley? Yeah. And of course, from FPRI, host of the Iran Effect and another host of the Freakin' Awesome Paranormal Show, we have got Rhonda Harris Dowdy joining us.
Hello.
And the other host, Angie, is in bed right now. So it'll be us holding down the fort.
Right.
How is everyone doing tonight?
Good.
You guys ready for a fun discussion?
I am.
Awesome. I'm excited. Very excited to have everyone here. I see Jeannie in the queue. I see Holly down there. I see Heavens in the queue. So it's going to be a fun show. And it's also, I don't have to tell you guys this, but it's National Spinach Day. So hope you guys had a big helping of spinach to celebrate this awesome holiday.
Ooh, there we go.
Your face. Okay.
Logo
good.
was like right.
We had that problem last time. I remember right in your face.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There it is. Yeah.
Hey, Rhonda.
Check out this mug.
Hello.
Check it out. The Freakin' Awesome Paranormal Show mug from Jason Gray. GI Paranormal.
If you're listening to this, I would like one, please. Please and thank you.
We'd all have her drinking out of our freaking awesome mugs.
That's right.
You can get, well, I think Howie's got some Rift mugs too, so you can have a mug for Tuesday and a mug for Sunday, and FPRI mug when you go investigating. So you have it all covered. So yes, it is National Spinach Day, of course. So again, everyone, thank you for joining us on such a wonderful holiday.
Monumentous.
It is.
Monumentous.
And National Nougat Day.
Nougat
well.
Day.
So if you like nougat, grab yourself a candy bar and celebrate.
I'm still going through chemo, but when I was like heavily going through chemo, I craved the crap out of nougat. Like it was the only thing that I could eat that like my stomach could handle. Oh, super yummy.
Such a random thing to have a craving for. But I don't even know what nougat is, to be honest with you.
It's in candy bars.
I know. I know where it is. I just know what it is.
Oh,
Isn't
what
it
it's made of?
It's good.
Yeah, what is nougat made of?
Lots of sugar.
Yeah, well,
I don't know exactly. I don't know.
I'm sure it's somewhere on the internet. Somebody can let us know. Kristen says, "Yummy, I love spinach." Hey, Shawnee Darby. Hey, CJ. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Kristen. Hey, hey, Holly. She's in the chat. So I did find a team. What I did, I looked at the pictures, and they have pictures from like beginning of the year, so they're still around. It's West Virginia. West Virginia Paranormal Investigations. I wonder if some of the teams we talked about have actually come back because we talked about them. They're like, you know what? Let's get back together. Let's get the band back together.
I doubt it. I mean, but it is a nice little,
Maybe it is overwhelming like wave of like people. You got to come back. You've got to come back. We miss you.
There's people talking about us with like 30 followers. Are talking about.
I know exactly.
We need to get back together.
That's right. We had two more likes than the last 5 years. We have that kind of power on the Freakin' Awesome Paranormal. So West Virginia Paranormal Investigations, they don't have a mission statement, so I was disappointed in that. But they're from Morgantown, West Virginia, and you can find them, watch their videos at youtube.com/WVPara. So go check them out. Maybe you'll have them on the show sometime.
Yeah.
We'll give them the Freakin' Awesome rub, You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It worked with we had a creepy Cincinnati on the show.
Yeah.
Ago, and that was an awesome interview. So we're all about bringing people on and helping them out, showing having them come on and talk to us about what they've captured and stuff. It would be fun. So the word of the day is snolly ghoster.
I was
Snolly ghoster.
What is it?
Snolly ghoster.
Snolly ghoster.
Not to be confused with snallygaster, which is an actual cryptid out of Maryland. A snolly ghoster is a person who has intelligence but no principles. Oh yeah. Snolly ghoster. All right. So we have quite the panel tonight. It's all about medium. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut most of the time because I am just going to observe and absorb all the awesomeness coming out of the screen onto me. I'm super excited. First, I wrote introduction down here. From first, we got paranormal investigator from Pungo Paranormal, Heaven Nicole Benoit.
That's my boo.
A boom. Welcome. Whoa. I'll read that for a second. Sorry, Heaven. Figure that out. I don't know what's going on with her. That was weird. That was weird. Okay. We got the girl behind Divination by Dana, the future host of the Positively Preposterous Paranormal Podcast on the Vibe Radio Network. We've got Dana Marie Vollmer. Let's bring her on the show. Boom. Welcome.
Hey.
You made it.
Look at your hair. I love it.
Thanks.
Oh, it looks awesome.
It does.
I don't know what happened, but I'm going with it.
I'm going to go add Heaven back on the show here. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. And next.
It is. That's weird.
Yeah.
Is it still doing it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I heard it, but now I can't. Weird.
Hello.
Hey.
From Psychic.
Oh no, Heaven. Can you
What
try
is it?
it different?
You want me to leave and come back?
Yeah, try that.
Okay.
That's going to be confusing. From Mobile Psychic Soul Connections and Tidewater and Albemarle Paranormal, we've got Jeannie Karaya Payette. Welcome back.
That's my boo.
Hello.
And we got my girl coming up. My girl right here. From Holly Mullins is a former host of the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show, the co-founder of the Vibe Radio Network, and an Appalachian granny woman. Let's bring her on the show. Welcome, Holly Mullins. Woo! And let's see. Let me see. Go down and let's try Nicole or Heaven. Nicole, where they came from. All right. You there?
Yep.
No echo.
Yay.
Perfect.
No echo.
Yay.
I think I matched like the bottom thing.
Oh, it's like
not
the Brady
my
Bunch
usual
over
spot.
here. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for coming on the show and joining us tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Very excited.
It's
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to let Sarah take the lead on this one.
Okie dokie. So I do want to let everybody know because we have so many girls and I kind of needed to just like reiterate it. Just to keep the responses to like maybe a minute minimum. Just because we have so many people, we don't want to dim anybody else's light. So with that being said, let's get this party started.
Let's do it. All right.
All right. So, starting off the questions, Heaven had brought up a really good question today, and I can see spirits, like not in my third eye, but like actual in real person form. Sometimes I could see them in my third eye, but a lot of times, like they are literally right there. Like I could see them. Does that happen to anybody else? Can anybody else see that as well? Okay.
I see the shadows, you know that.
Yeah. So when they come to you, like with me, when I'm like laying in bed or something, about to go to sleep, and like they just show up right next to my bed, just wanted to chit chat with me. When is the most? What is the most time that they come to you, or is it like throughout the entire day, kind of thing?
Every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Right. Just random.
Every hour of the day.
Yeah, I do a lot of dream walking, so I have a lot of spirits that do, like you, come to my bedside. But if they're around and they want to communicate, they'll make their presence known. But because I'm asleep, the conscious body's asleep, it's better to communicate with people who is just mind's just going all the time. So we find that at nighttime when we're settling down, that's when we have a lot of communication.
Yeah. So, like when I'm out on location, a lot of times, like when we were at Sweet Springs, I saw the woman in the room just standing there. She was in the corner, and then she like kind of like made her way out of the room. Like full body, just saw her just come right up out of the room. And so it wasn't in my third eye. Like I'm actually like seeing this happen. And so I think Heaven was asking because she knows some people that just see spirits in their third eye instead of like, like as in me, I just like I can literally like they'll come to me like as like a person. Like they're just illuminated. That's the only difference is like
Yeah,
I
you
could
see like an apparition.
yeah, like I could see them. They're not see-through whatsoever, but they're just illuminated. So
Yeah.
it looks like a regular person, but just like if somebody shined a light on top of them, kind of thing. That's how I see them. So what are the different ways that you guys see them?
Being a seer since I was 8 years old, I see them like regular people. I see them standing in back of you. I see them when I can't go to Walmart anymore, so I see them talking to a person. I see them in my house. I mean, since 8 years old, so it's like if I don't see them, I think it's a odd day.
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed that like we really have to like I don't see all of the spirits. Like people have the assumption that mediums are the kind of people that like if you walk out on the street you see all of the ghosts, and that's not the case at all. Not with me. Like I feel like they have to give you kind of permission in order for them to see you, kind of thing. Because I'm the one where like I only see certain, like they come to me kind of thing. Like I can't just step out and just see a whole bunch of spirits. Like either they want me to see them, or like they have their guard down, if that makes any sense. I don't even know how to explain that. Like there's some that I guess they don't really know that I don't know if they know that I'm there or not, but I could see them trailing behind their loved ones. Or when I go to a property, I could see all of them like standing at the distance, but like I'm not the kind of person that goes out and sees spirits everywhere, if that makes any sense.
I feel like that's kind of a frequency thing because you could put all 6 of us in a room and we all might pick up a different spirit that's really talking to us and really communicating. I think it really boils down to what frequency and how they want to communicate with you.
Because that's what I'm trying to figure out is like how, so I'm trying to like, I want to know, because I know that mediums is not a one size fit all kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like what I see is not the same as what Jeannie sees, and what Jeannie sees is not the same as what Holly sees, and vice versa, or Heaven sees something and Dana might see a different thing. So I'm just trying to figure out how everybody kind of works. Like Dana, how do you see them? How do you communicate?
So for me, it's very layered. It's really like I'm gonna try to make it fast because there's so many of us. But like sometimes I see them as like just actual, like you do. But in the difference is, with me, they're like shimmering silhouettes, and certain features will kind of shimmer in and out. Whereas other times I'm seeing them in my third eye and just kind of seeing the shadow. But if I stop for a minute and focus, I can tell you, and I think I've said on the show before that I can always see hands first. Like, and it drives me insane. Like, why hands and jewelry are the first thing I see, and then they'll start to show me. But then I also catch glimpses, like you say, of them off guard, and or even not wanting to be seen. And I've actually done readings where I've heard my spirit guides tell me, "You weren't supposed to see this. You're not supposed to know this."
Yeah. What
So
about? Go ahead.
I guess it depends on like the location and who the spirit is.
Yeah, because that I've come across something like that before, where I kind of intervened on somebody's, like, two spirits talking, actually fighting, and they didn't know that I was listening. And like she looked at me, and like I could literally hear her say, "No, she's right there. She's right there." And like she's talking to somebody else. I don't know who she's talking to, but she's literally talking to somebody else on the other side of the room, the spirit. And then I look over and she realizes that I'm actually, I'm listening to what she's saying, and she disappears. And I'm like, okay, that was weird. What about you, Rhonda? How do you?
It really, and I want to point out, Jen Rose had a good comment here. She said, "When you also have to give them permission. We can control when and how we experience spirits to a certain extent." And I think it depends. For me, it comes in different ways. I might see the apparition. I might just feel them and feel that it's a presence, and feel that it's a man, and feel all kinds of different things. I might hear them. It might be my clairaudience. It really kind of, it's gotten to the point now where it's sometimes they'll show me a picture, like almost like I'm watching a movie. So it's really that's how they want to do it. And I just wanted to point out what Jen said, because everybody, are they around all the time? And could I tap in and see them? Yeah, but I've really, and it's probably the mentors I worked with. So there's really no right or wrong answer to this question, or how you do it, because we all work differently. But they were all the mentors I worked with were very conscious of the fact that you don't have to be open all the time, and you can set boundaries, and you can tell them, don't come in my room. Now, will they try? Yeah. And you just say, come back later. I'm sleeping. Don't come in my room.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I don't want to be too I'm not going to say too much about what happened to me the other day, because I don't know how Ryan feels about it. But Ryan's mom did come to me in my room. And I did talk to Ryan about it, and kind of let him know what she had said. And but she stood right at my door, was like right there, was just like talking to me like I was talking to somebody else. And it was weird, because I knew exactly who she was. She didn't have to tell me who she was. I knew exactly who she was. And I don't know how that happens. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I can tell, like, who the spirit belongs to, and then other times I can't. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's them trying to, like, if they, like, tell me, like, in my head. I don't know how that works. But I'm learning, and I want to learn so much more to try to figure out what's going on. Jeannie, tell me, how do you do it?
Oh, okay. So, remember I had concerns about coming to this panel, because I'm a medium, but I'm more of an indigenous seer. Okay, so whatever I say, please don't think that and I say this all the time, don't think that I'm putting anyone down, or that I think I'm better than anybody. This is just what I was given. Okay. And I say this all the time. First, I'm if I go like this to you, if you're talking, it's because I'm blind from this side on, okay? But I am checking out. But anyway, the way
I love her.
I've been doing this since I was 8 years old, guys. 8 years old, and I'm not gonna be more than a minute. I'm gonna scrunch it in because I have ADHD and I'll. So I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. I see them as clear as I see Roy and Rhonda, as clear as I see a Charles or a Chaz in back of Dana. As soon as I see my grandmother saying that in your heart chakra there is a Judy that you love, this is exactly what happens as I am talking to you, and I talk to you in front with this front lobe and this, and there's a Edgar this is what happens every day of my life. And when I'm speaking to you FaceTime or this, my grandmother's showing me this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I have to actually say, stop having conversation. I don't want to talk. Sometimes it's morbid to me, but I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. So, but I can teach people how to tune in the way I was showed how. So this is how I mentor. So yes, even Ryan and you, I mean, you guys are already good teams, but if you want to tune into more, I'm doing a retreat where I'm teaching people how you can tune more into the way I do it.
You made a good point about your grandmother. That's another thing that was taught to me, and it's maybe something that would be helpful, is asking your guides to show you or explain to you who's coming forward and have them put that in order for you. So
absolutely, because we can teach people how to journey, and when you journey, you can reach your ancestors more. See, a lot of people do it from this state, but you can't do it from this state. You have to do it from your trans state.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk too much. Okay.
Girl. Dana, who are they?
That's my stepdad.
Oh,
He passed away in June of 2022.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spit that out, but once you say Jeannie, I get turned on. So
and maybe you can tell me if I'm right. I get him every time I'm driving his van.
Yeah.
I'm driving it wrong. And we're yelling that my mom doesn't take care of it.
He told me, don't call me Charles. I'm Chaz. Like,
I'll get him in the house and it's more so like him being a smart ass, just kind of reminding me that he's there. And I actually have to kind of be that conduit between him and my mom. But so it's I know he's around, but normally my house is off limits. I try to grid it off limits unless they're good.
Mm-hmm.
So
if he came now, it's because he wants to make it known that he's around you.
He on a podcast. He wants to be center of attention. That's how he is.
He's going like that to his head, letting you know that he still has no hair.
Jeannie gets it. She nailed mine is my dad. Roy is my dad. You
Roy.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's cute.
He's always around.
When Heaven and I did our chat with Jeannie, we were both oh my God.
I've never seen anybody drop first and last name. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was so dumbfounded.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm a medium and I can't do that shit. I'm
and I'm telling you, it's because seers, they're just trained to talk with two. So I was born blind so that I can do this. So when you lose a sense of something, it's also, and I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, she's airing out her business, but I was born out of incest and I wrote a book about it and I don't care anymore because that's my truth. So I have double of the indigenous genes. So when I do that, everybody's like, oh, that makes sense.
I mean, it does really make sense. It really does.
Yeah.
I want your book now. And
right.
I am writing the afterlife. I'm still here with stuff, how to tune in and all that. So I don't want to pick up the whole thing. So it's Sarah.
She's amazing. She really is.
Yeah, I will take that drive now. I don't care how far it is. Or like Ryan says, it's just a short drive for me. Just around the corner.
You were right. These ladies are awesome.
Yeah, I told you. Heaven, you wanna tell everybody what you see and how you communicate?
So my biggest thing is like when I was younger, I used to be able to see apparitions, especially in Gettysburg on the battlefield. Like the soldiers just came to me really strong. And then I started seeing shadow figures and it started freaking me out. So I closed my third eye, and then after losing some loved ones, I kind of started getting spiritual again. And now it's kind of different. I do see shadows sometimes, but it's mostly like I can pick up energy and know if it's like male or female. I also sometimes just kind of have like the automatic knowing.
Yeah.
So
Our cognizance.
So Heaven and I, we work off of each other. Like we are a team, and what I see, she doesn't see. What she sees, I don't see. And like we kind of come together like a puzzle, especially when we're investigating different properties and stuff. And it's pretty crazy, like seeing everything and like it all coming together at the end, like what her and I do. I mean,
definitely.
she's fantastic. Like she's really awesome, especially like when she's actually tuning into things because she likes to second guess herself, and I'm like, you can't do it. Stop
Yeah.
it.
I keep it to myself.
Yeah,
And then I tell Sarah.
When you're learning mediumship and you're starting to get into, I think the hardest thing ever is the trust. I mean, I have trust. I have the word tattooed on my body as a reminder to just, you got to trust what you get and just spit it out.
Yep.
It might not make sense at the time, but usually it does later.
Yep.
It's easier for me to just tell Sarah what I'm thinking because then I don't second guess it. I don't think about it because I know she won't judge me.
Yeah.
And then from there, we kind of, we'll talk about it or eventually it'll come together.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome.
I could see
Like-
having to though that like starts like giving readings going. Does that make sense? Is that making sense to you?
What would you say?
I said I can see Heaven doing what I tend to do, which is going. Does that make sense? Is that making sense to you?
Mhm.
Because I'm doing this blind and it's driving me crazy, and I need to know that it makes sense. You heard me
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. She's awesome. She's I don't know. The things that she picks up on like it astounds me so much. Like the other day, I was missing one of my friends a lot that had passed away, and I was like, can you just come through? Can you please just show me a damn sign that you're still with me? Because it's really hard for me to pick up on my loved ones. I could pick up on anybody else, but when it comes to my loved ones, I can't do it. And like she sent me a picture literally like what was like 3 or 4 hours later of the person's name on like she was like, this song just popped up and the person's name is the song. And I was like, oh my God.
So random. I almost didn't send it to you too. I was like, should I?
Yes. Because I was like, I just miss you so much. Please just give me a sign that you're still here. God. Holly.
Yes, ma'am.
Girl.
Yes.
So tell us how you do what you do. Boo.
Oh, okay. So, well, well, it was a transition because I feel like for me, I had this awakening in life, when I was younger. And so I had to learn to connect with spirit. I had to learn to trust spirit. I had to learn to trust the universe and myself. And then when I did that and learned that by going through my consciousness, I could connect with not just my mediumship, but all of it. Because mediumship is just not talking to dead people.
Right.
Mediumship is delivering messages from all sources. And so I found that the earlier I was on my path, I was dealing with a lot of more past loved ones coming to my bedside at night. I'm a dream walker. I'm, so I have a lot of like visions. I have a lot of third eye activity. I have a lot of out of body experiences. So I work. I mean, I walk into other people's dreams. They're like, Holly, it's just like, okay, I don't know.
Sorry. Didn't mean to
Sorry, but not sorry. Because I just had a girl message me yesterday. She's like, Holly, you were in my dreams, and I just wanted to let you know what you were doing. And, I'm like, okay. And it's like, it's crazy because I've had 6 people in one week say it. It just comes out of my mouth because I chose to open my throat chakra and open up my consciousness for spirit. And that's accessible for anyone to do. It's just like Jenny said, you tune in your receiver. We're all receivers. We're all perceiving it on different levels and different existence. I feel like spirits are all just on another plane of existence, but right here. And it's just that some of us are just plane walking and not realizing it. I realized that during dream walking when I was on other planes of existence, but I was still here. So we teeter them lines and don't even know it. So the mediumship for me, it just comes in, and I'm like, I tell everybody, I'm like Medea. If you don't want to hear it, you won't be around me because it's going to come right out. It's going to come right out. I'm going to tell you what you need to know, baby, not what you want to know. So it comes out.
That is so true.
I don't like sugarcoating things because when I sugarcoat things, sometimes it comes out not as what the spirit says. And like if they're speaking a certain way, usually this is how they are in real person.
Yes.
And so it comes out more authentic, me saying exactly what they're saying to me versus the way that I want to say it. And I had to learn that the hard way. Because it took a few times. I had a few spirits come to me, and I was the person that was mentoring me when I was younger would just be like, if they're telling you family members, maybe try to find the family members and let them know what their loved one says. And so I did that, but I did it in my way, and like they didn't believe me, and I was like, all right, something's got to change. And so she was like, you just, whatever they say to you, just tell them the exact, that they're telling them that they're a piece of shit, and you need to do this and you need to do that. Like, just tell them that's like, not tell them that, you know what I mean, but like tell them exactly what they're trying to say, because the more like to the T, like they're saying to you and you're saying to them, the more than that family member is going to believe you. Like, you can say it, you can go, yeah, June said that, you were on a boat with them, and you guys went out to the sea on this day, and you guys did this, and you guys did that. It's really easy to look that up on Facebook or on any social media platforms, but it's not easy to actually talk the way that they talk, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Rhonda, what's your most crazy experience when it comes to spirits coming to you?
Oh my gosh. The craziest experience. Oh goodness.
That's gonna be a hard one.
I mean, yeah, like that's a stumper. I can tell you the funniest one.
Yeah.
The funniest one is we are literally 2 mediums in a car.
Great book.
We leave our bed and breakfast, right? We leave and we're going to go set up her booth at the place. And we pull out and we're following the GPS, and we immediately know, we're like, I feel like we should be going right, and not, but it's saying go right. So we go right, and we're both going, I don't think we're going the right way, but it's still directing us, but it keeps telling us you'll be there. It says 5 more miles, 10 more, like if the mileage is going, I'm like, we're not going the right way.
What is happening?
All of a sudden, the GPS takes us like literally, it's suddenly in the middle of the road, it says turn around. And we were like, what the? And we look to the right, and there's a cemetery.
Oh,
and
wow.
She was like, so do you think we have somebody we're supposed to drop off? And I said, I think we have somebody we're supposed to drop off. So we literally go in the cemetery and say, okay, we brought you here. Glad we could help. What now?
You know, you gotta get out.
Get out.
I know who you wanted to see, but we're here now.
Man,
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm.
That's the stuff you just can't make up. Like the
No.
GPS is telling us, and like it's going, okay, you'll be there in 5 minutes. You'll be there in 15. So clearly GPS, you know you're taking us the wrong way.
Right.
Like,
God, that's funny. Oh my God. This guy was like, listen, I got somewhere to be. Please see.
chop, chop. I don't know who he was visiting, but.
That's so funny. Dana, how about you?
So I'm kind of stuck between two because one of the ones was like the first experience that actually made me like admit that I'm not just a sensitive, that I like feel. Because I don't know about you guys, but I went through a whole denial phase, and this was the one that broke me out of my denial phase. Um, well, there's two. One was I was in my old apartment and I was walking. I was a little hallway, like from the bedroom areas to the living room, and I got hit, smacked in the face with this berry perfume. And then all of a sudden, I seen this woman with like looks like hair that was like dirty blonde but gray, and it was very thin and like just kind of unwashed, but not like gross, but like a couple days. Um, she had gaunt face, very blue eyes, but like her skin was. I would say she was like someone who was younger than they looked, but was a hard life. And she was very like thin, and she was in a house. And the next thing I know, I am in her body. I am seeing her life.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
And I just hear her saying like that she just wanted her kids to know she was sorry. And I live right down the street from a retirement home, and I was so shaken by the experience that like my husband had to walk me to the couch, and I just had to call my mom because I was what
Oh.
what just happened to me? And I was crying, and I was like, oh my God, this woman just jumped into me. This woman just like, what was my mom thinking? And I was like, this woman just jumped into me. And I was distraught because I could never figure out who she is to tell her kids that she was sorry.
Oh.
And then the other one was an old woman with long gray hair to about here in my face, wagging her finger and yelling. I couldn't hear what she was saying at my bedside.
Oh my God, I hate when that happens. Oh, I hate it so much. Oh,
Boundary.
ask
There's a
Diane how
boundary.
many times a week I wake her up on a daily
All the time.
basis because some fucking spirit is just like yelling at me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I just put a blanket over my head and push him out of my room because that's my boundary. You don't come to me when I'm sleeping.
God, I hate it.
No, you don't come after me when I'm vulnerable. You stay out of my room.
No bathrooms, no bedrooms.
Close the door.
Like you can set those boundaries as much as you want it, but there are some spirits that just do not care about your boundaries at all. I gotta tell you about a story after all of you guys because this is like this. Jeannie, tell me about your story, girl.
Well, they mess with Phil more than me because they know they can't get to me. The most, the one that I want to say is this was darling though. We lived in another house, and like I said, I'm not a morning person, so Ryan had made a mistake and said this was at 9 a.m. I was like 9 a.m. Anyway. And I am not a morning person because I don't go
Me
to sleep.
neither.
I don't sleep early. But so we lived in another house, and I wake up and Phil goes, "Did you put pennies on the floor?" And I'm like, first of all, I'm very like germophobic. I don't touch any, not even my copper pyramids. I put gloves on. But I go, why would I put pennies on the floor, right? He goes, well, in the entry of the way, there were 5 pennies and 1 dime. No, there was 5 pennies. I think it was Phil. 5 pennies, 1 nickel, and 1 dime.
Oh.
And so when I looked at the calendar, of course, it was my grandmom's 5th year anniversary.
Oh,
wow. So, he was like, I've never seen that before in my life. Like never seen, like I've heard of it, but I would never seen like, the pennies like that. Well, when his uncle passed, he did the same exact thing on his coffee pot.
Oh my God.
It's so funny that they won't wake me up to do it because I'd be like, oh, okay, thank you. But no, they do it to him because he's disgusting.
Oh my God. I wish something like that would happen to Diane. Like something like so funny mental.
Ask like, every night I'm like, mommy, you know, when it's your thing, you know, come, because you know she's my grandmom that raised me and blah blah blah. But I didn't say leave pennies or whatever. I just said, and this was she's made her 10th year anniversary, so it was 5 years ago in another house. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
Heaven, tell me about yours, girl.
You already know mine. So, being the baby medium that I am and just kind of, you know, winging it and just getting back into this type of thing. Being at the cabin with Sarah the first night that I ever met her, like we investigated both locations and stuff. We didn't really go in the woods at all. And basically Josh started to fall asleep at the table. And I don't remember what we wanted to do, but I was like, let's go to the back room. Let's go to the back room. There's an old man back there. And she's like, what? Like, let's go back there. And she's just like, no, I don't want to go back there. I'm like, come on.
He does not like me. I think he was telling me
he didn't like me either. Yeah, I felt like he didn't want anybody back there in his face. And I saw like the silhouette of him. And that was like the first time I've ever like actually seen a silhouette. Normally it's like a shadow. When I was younger, I could see apparitions. And so like we went back there and it was kind of like, you know, I was in denial, like you said, Dana, and just I didn't really know Sarah, so I was just like, you know, and I felt awkward telling her those things, but I also felt like I knew her, so I didn't mind. And when we were back there, it was like, whoa, like you can see everything. I said there has to be a portal in here, and I couldn't distinguish if it was the bathroom or the closet. And all of a sudden, like, when I was like, you know, we could see Josh and stuff, the floor started shaking.
You said it was the funniest shit. She goes, holy fuck, I see Josh. And I was like, what? What do you mean you see Josh? And like, I looked through the fucking window and there's Josh, like, nodding off in the front area. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's so weird. And then all of a sudden, like,
yep. And I told her, I was like, that's how the thing in the basement knows everything. It can witness and see everybody and what they're saying in the main area of the cabin. And then later I sat down in the cabin in the kitchen and I was messing with the equipment and I was like, I smell flowers, like, and my chest started getting really tight and I was just like, holy shit, like, Sarah. But yeah,
that was the first time you told me about the woman, and I was like, I don't pick up any woman here. And then come to find out there is a woman at the cabin. So you picked it up first. You picked her up first. That was crazy. That was a crazy ass
trusting the instincts.
God. Holly, tell me about your craziest story, girl.
Oh Lord, it might not be the craziest, but it's one of the craziest because I feel like they're all a little crazy. But so the craziest to fathom, I guess, would be one night I woke up. I had my boys in the bed with me. I was fast asleep. The thing with astral projection is, for me, it was always random. It was never I could, make myself go into that state. And I woke up and there was a man walking toward me, except that he was not human. He was green. It was like he was another species, but he was wearing human-like clothes. He was walking right towards me, scared the ever-living F out of me. And this was like during my massive awakening because it was back to back to back. Spirit's like, come on, girl, you got things to do. And so I like, freaked out. I freaked out because I didn't know. I was having experiences before that, but this one really got me. It was my first real apparition, like vision of something being in the room with me that wasn't there. And so then I realized that I was a ghost in his world. So sometimes we need to think about that. He didn't even know I was there. I was in his world. So yeah, that's crazy. That was one of my crazy ones.
Yeah. I have had spirits come to me that aren't real people that kind of mask themselves as spirits. And I have PTSD of a little girl who really is not a little girl. It was a few months ago. I don't know, like 5 months ago, maybe at this point. Maybe not. Maybe like 3 months ago. I don't remember.
Like January, I think.
Yeah, it was like January.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I'm about to go to the bathroom, and I look over, and in my closet, she's like standing there, and like her face, like she looks like she's maybe 7 or 8 years old. She's got pigtails with a ribbon, like ribbons in her hair, and she's got bangs, like straight across bangs, brown hair, and she's wearing like this checkered dress from like the 1950s. And she's looking at me like this.
Oh, I hate that look. Oh.
And I was like, oh my God. And I started screaming. And I was like, what? I was like, there's a fucking child demon thing in our fucking closet, dude. And she simmered away. Like, it wasn't like, you know, sometimes I see them and then like poof, they're gone. Like, this bitch, excuse my language, this thing fucking just like simmered away. And like I have been so afraid to go back to sleep ever since, because I'm so fucking afraid that I'm gonna wake up again and like she's gonna be chilling in my closet again, and then I'm gonna have a goddamn heart attack because this bitch scared the shit out of me.
I'd rather see a demon than a little girl and a little boy.
You know what?
Right?
What's even crazier?
Mischievous spirits.
God. And like I think,
you know what that face you just made? I'm like, nope. Afuera.
Like it was the most evilest. And I sent Ryan. Ryan can attest to this.
No.
I sent Ryan pictures. I was like, this is what she looked like. I sent Heaven pictures too. I was like, this is what she looked like.
I got the goosebumps just by that face.
Like, I had to find pictures from like the 1960s of little girls with like straight across bangs and like pigtails. And I'm like, this is what she looked like. This is not exactly what she looked like, but this is what she looked like. And it was just so fucking freaky. And the thing is that like the month prior to it, Heaven and I were investigating my house, and we caught a little girl saying, "You want to come play with me?" And I was like, fuck.
I told you I saw a little girl in Bella's room, and it freaked me out. That's why I didn't sleep in her room. I'm like, new house, new room. Nope.
I'm like, look, I'm talking about her now. She's gonna make a fucking appearance, and I'm gonna shit my pants, and then I'm gonna be like, fuck, I should have never said anything.
I don't know.
The one thing too is crazy is like that thing that I saw, and then Bella saw it, and there's no way she would have known about it.
Oh yeah. So
hi Danielle. Sorry.
There's a portal that's linked between me and Heaven's house, and Heaven saw like a snake-like thing,
shadow thing,
like slithering.
A house, Heaven.
Yeah,
you should come out.
And like, I don't know, like a few weeks later, Isabella saw the exact same thing in our house.
She won't speak about it. She won't talk about it or anything.
Nope. She's so afraid. Huh?
No, this is something different.
Oh, Lord of mercy. I need to go to your house.
There's tons of things in the woods.
Her house, Heaven's house, is so freaking haunted, dude. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
This is making me just like create destinations for my road trip. Right now I need to go to Heaven's house.
To her house, you could go to my house because we don't
live my house, girl.
Each other. Me and him live like what, 30 minutes away from each other.
Yep.
So
the crazy thing about it is we don't
in September.
I'll
just be visiting everybody in September.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds
come on.
good.
Come on over. God, man. That was the most... God, I have PTSD because of that. I don't know if anybody else... Like, does anybody else have, like, PTSD?
I do.
Something that they've experienced before?
When I was only 9 years old. 9 years old. I didn't tell you this because I thought we were talking about this, but 9 years old, my first experience was I was sleeping in my bunk bed, and all of a sudden I hear, like the creep step, and I saw a shadow of, when you can't even talk about it because you still have PTSD?
Yeah.
A shadow of a claw, man, just coming like.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
No.
I'm 51 years old, and I'm talking about 9 years old. I'm 51 years old, and if I see a shadow of like 2 fingers, I'm like, turn the light on. Help, help, Mom. I can't, because it just brings you back to that creepy little inner child, freaky little. And then I heard this, and then I'm like, and I couldn't call. You know when you want to call somebody and you can't call, and I'm like, and I couldn't call nobody, and I know I was awake because I wouldn't cause paralysis. I got up and I ran to my mother's, and that brownstone in Brooklyn, brownstones are haunted. That brownstone was haunted because my mother even said my stepfather was a truck driver, and she was like, "Oh, honey, you're home early," and she felt a hug. He wasn't even home yet.
Oh wow!
We moved out 2 months after that.
That's a whole.
He fell asleep, and she felt him like hug her, and then he's like put the keys down and came in. Oh, hi, honey. She was like, "You were phoning me," and he was like, "No, I was not." We left. That whole brownstone in Brooklyn was haunted.
I don't blame you.
God, who sleeps with the light on? Does anybody have to sleep with the light on? Or like
Sleep
we're
with
at
the TV
night
on.
I did as a child. It had to be.
Phil just screamed from the room.
I still do.
But as a child, I did, and it wasn't just like.
Yeah, I had a nightlight.
Mom said you couldn't. It wasn't like the light in my room had to be on. The hall light had to be on, and if one was shut off, I would immediately wake up. She had to wait till like 4 a.m. to turn everything off.
I had a nightlight till I was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
I made my parents put the hall light on because I used to get terrible night terrors. And like I realize now that a lot of mediums get terrible night terrors
because we astral project.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always tell people, you know how we are tired in the morning, even when we sleep? We're working. We're at his house, right, Holly? We are in his house. We are working. We are meeting with our parents.
I swear I haunt the house I grew up in because I dream about it so much. And anytime I dream about a person that I know, I'm always like, please don't tell me you dreamt of me. Please don't tell me you dreamt of me.
My son and I go into each other's dreams. And he's like, Ma, I heard what you told me. And I'm like, I haven't told you yet. He was like, yeah, you did. You came into my dream and you told me. He lives in Alexandria. And the other one
Holly knows all about astral projection. Like,
we all going to be in each other's dreams tonight.
Also, too, is like,
Holly. What's up?
What I realized too is because I didn't have night terrors, but my son did, and just because Spirit has blessed me to be able to analyze everything, it's kind of like I have to know everything and how it works, and that's how I teach. But like Kanan and the other people that I've experienced and night terrors and all of it, it's all combined, but it's a lower vibration. It's what they're experiencing. It's a lower vibration that we're experiencing, because when you go have those experiences, it's not like you can control them. Right. You are paralyzed, right? You're in sleep paralysis. What it is your soul body is wide awake going, bitch, run! And then your physical body is there. Because I can't move. I can't move. It's exactly what the fuck it is. So you have to raise your vibration, and you're like, well, how the hell am I going to raise my vibration if I'm stuck to the fucking bed and I can't move? So, what? That's how it really is.
No, lucid dreaming. Like, I mean, obviously the dream walkers can lucid dream. But what about like the rest of you? Because I, as a kid, would wake up with my hands like this because I would literally force myself awake when I was.
That's how I am too. Yeah, 100%.
And I just stop and go, I'm dreaming, dude. Yeah. And then
I don't want to come back. I don't want to come back. Sometimes I don't want to. I'm like, why the fuck did I wake up, man? I was good in that world. I was ringing in that world. It felt good, you know? I'm like, Spirit's like, it's because you made a contract, bitch. You got to stay.
I could sleep for hours and feel like I didn't get any sleep at all.
Yeah. We are working. We are working.
We all are doing it.
We are
Whether
all
we realize it or not, we are all doing it. We're tapped out into another, and we're doing stuff.
we're doing
It's
stuff.
crazy.
We're visiting people. We're going to another realm. We're
I'm working, bitch. That's what we're doing.
my job.
My mom didn't know that.
24/7 job. Even
Yeah.
more.
My
Yeah.
mom didn't know that she had abilities until I said something to her about it. Like, she had no idea about it. Like, she told me, she was like, this is going to be a little morbid, but like, she told me that like she was at the bus stop and she had saw like numbers back in when I was in middle school. She saw numbers dropping from the sky, and like a big explosion in the sky, and like she saw the twin towers. And
geez.
that morning was when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell me this until like later on in my life, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, this is where I got my abilities from. I got them from you. I know.
Story about 9/11.
Huh?
Can I tell you a story about 9/11? When
Yeah.
you with that? I worked there on the 88th floor, and 8 months before that happened, in my dream, because we're clairvoyants in our dream, right? I saw square buildings burning all the way up. And one of our childhood friends that we've been friends with, we were walking down the aisle, and all of a sudden we looked at each other, and he goes, because you know how dreams change, right? We're walking down the aisle, and he looks at me, he goes, jump out the window, jump out the window. And I'm like, why do we need to jump out the window? And all of a sudden, boom, I woke up.
Oh my God.
So then when we went to work the next day, I'm like, we should have like parachutes up here. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? I can't just say I had a dream like that. Something happens to me. And then it happened, and the people who survived, I lost a lot of people. But and then my friend who I had the dream with, he worked in Cantor Fitzgerald, and he passed away. The same one who told me, jump out the window, jump out the window.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And but yeah, and then the ones who survived were like, this is why you had a premonition, didn't you? You kept saying we should have parachutes, like we should have parachutes, and people are like, parachutes. We should have had parachutes up here. You know how many people would have been saved instead of them laughing at me? They should have put parachutes.
Yeah,
But it's crazy.
My uncle was working at the Pentagon that day.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't. He was supposed to be in the wing that had gotten hit by the plane, but everybody was at the lunch. So I'm not quite sure what happened at the Pentagon, but I know that he was not injured whatsoever.
Because the people who weren't supposed to be there didn't go. Yeah. I have another friend who was supposed to be there, and his kid and his daughter all of a sudden dropped to the floor. I want candy. I want candy. And he was like, when do you want candy? At 7:00 in the morning. He said, and she went on the floor. She had a tantrum. I want candy. And he's like, oh my God, what's going on? Well, because she made him go to get candy, he was late, missed 9/11.
Dang.
Whoever wasn't supposed to be there, something happened that morning for them not to be there. I call that divine intervention.
Yes.
I get the goosebumps. I get the goosebumps.
Yeah, they were very serious.
I wasn't there either. You want to know what happened? My ex-husband, who was my fiance, told me, sorry, Phil, I love you. He said, why don't you stay he lived in Virginia and I lived in New York, of course. And he goes, why don't you stay another day? I was supposed to stay just that weekend, not Monday. And I remembered that dream. And he goes, why don't you stay till Monday? And I'm like, yeah, why don't I stay till Monday? 9/11 was that Monday.
Wow.
He actually saved my life.
They were very serious.
Yeah.
They were very serious about like security after the airports, because I went to, during my Christmas break, I went to New York City right after 9/11. It was 3 months later. And I was actually one of the people and a baby on their terrorist list.
Jeez.
Yeah, my brother was mad because like I had to stand off to the side and like they had to search through like everything. I had to take my socks and shoes off and all of that.
God.
Jeez.
Man, yeah, like it was my mom can tell me stories about from like when I was younger, and like just things that like she's experienced that she never really said anything to anybody else about. You know what I mean? It's like she thought that she was crazy for it, and it's just weird because my nonna was so open about this. You know what I mean? Like she was so open and like just so understanding about everything. My Grammy, and you know, my Grammy had the gift, and I don't understand why my mom just never said anything. And just I don't know. I don't know if she got picked on for it. I still to this day I don't understand why.
A lot of religion. That's why.
Yeah.
She's very religious, like
Yep.
stupid religious.
My grandparents were Irish Catholic, and my mom, like, well, my grandpa was actually pretty open. Like, he would tell you he believed in ghosts and whatnot, but then you would talk about certain things, and he's like, "We're Catholic, we don't do that." But my mom's very gifted, and it's weird how the daughter is actually becoming the teacher. Like, we came in a kinship situation, and she adopted my younger siblings who were, family. And so now she's in the house with 4 sensitive children.
Wow.
And she's like, I'm telling you, you have no choice but to open up now because
Yeah.
spirit is always there.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
that happened for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Everything
mom
does.
was like that too.
Now, I'm the one that she calls, like, anytime something happens. What's your take on this? I just had the craziest dream. I gotta tell you, what do you think about it? And it's like, it's funny how like the parents are the teachers, but with this, I'm the teacher. And I almost wonder if your mom just blocked stuff out.
That's how my mom is now. Like she's very much like she's the student kind of thing. I'm trying to teach her how to do different things, and you know how to tune in, because she has the same thing that I do, where she'll wake up and she'll see different things in her room, and she'll see people, and she called it night terrors when she was younger. Like she had a night terror that her house caught on fire. 3 weeks later, her house caught on fire. So like
that's how my mom was. She kept it to herself.
Yep. And so like it's just there's such a stigma surrounded by this, and it sucks.
Colonization, religion, that you can't be who you were born to be because people judge you, you know.
My mom calls it sacrilegious. I don't want to be sacrilegious. You know, that's witch work. And
it's dangerous. It's actually dangerous to people, because awakened people are dangerous people. Awakened people who know things, awakened people who know their power. See, we're in the generation of the golden era. We're coming back to ourselves. So we're exploring something that humanity's never explored before, and that's the consciousness. And that's what everyone is afraid of. And so I've been part of the witch hunts. My history is rich in it in my family, but to feel it, to go through it yourself, is living your truth and authenticity. So one thing and advice I can give anybody is live and breathe in your authenticity, because as women, we are nurturers. We are intuitive already. That is everybody. That is everyone. Every man and woman on this planet and has the capability of doing this. We have been taught that, though. We have been wrapped up in generational traumas, societal traumas, and ancient ways that were lost way, way, way back in history and never taught.
I'm trying to bring the native ways back, because you know what? Paganism, witchery, and all that. We all did that. That's the native ways, when people were like, oh, tú eres una bruja. And I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of it, because that's the ancient ways. We all do that. And so are you. Do you make soup? I love when people tell me, you know, it's, do you make soup? Because you do it and you stir it and
yes, and you put your intention into it.
I mean, go.
And it's like, but people say, oh, it tastes so good because it's made with love. That's kitchen witching.
Kitchen witching. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's like blowing out of the candle.
Exactly.
Hey, Sarah, I made some more Brunswick stew.
Yes. I love some Brunswick stew, man.
I ask everybody a question, since I have so many lovely ladies with so much experience, and I have a situation that I figure I can just run by you. So my mom having the 4 kids. The youngest is 8, the oldest is 19. The 8-year-old is like, wow, his gifts are gonna far outshine like all of them, and those girls are pretty gifted. So he sees spirit, he gets scared. He doesn't always tell me about it, but the other day he's telling me about it. And he told me he saw the Hat Man. Well, I know it's the Hat Man.
Oh gosh.
Oh god.
Wait. So we all know about the Hat Man. Well, and I'm also telling him like how to enter like about like spirits, like, you know, you can tell them to go away. You don't have to just be scared of them. You can take your power back. But I failed to give him one big piece of information because it did not occur to me. So then he tells my mother he saw the Hat Man again, right? He asked the Hat Man what the Hat Man wanted, and the Hat Man extended his hand.
Oh gosh.
He extended his hand back, and the Hat Man disappeared.
No.
So personally, I believe Hat Men are watchers, guys. That's for me.
That's
I know, like,
me, and I've seen watchers, and I've seen Hat Man, and they have a very similar feeling. So I think I can agree with that.
Absolutely. They're scary because we ain't been taught about this shit.
Yeah.
Everything's scary because we ain't been taught about it. So to us, it's like a sci-fi fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? For real. I mean, it's like that's what we have failed as a society is to teach our people the ways, and that is to see. And we ain't taught that. We're taught that everybody else tells us what to see and how to see. And this is our reality. Guess what? Our reality is being shattered, folks. Our reality is being shattered. So everybody is getting a taste of the medicine. Everybody is seeing it.
But you know what? That same thing. I don't know if you're talking about the Hat Man, the one with the
in the cape. Yep.
Oh yeah. He's not a bad. He isn't bad. Same thing that Holly just said. He isn't bad. I thought you were talking about. No, that's the tall man. Never mind.
What, like the Slender Man that everybody?
The Hat Man and the tall man, but he is a watcher, and he's called like the medicine man from back then.
Yeah.
So I kind of believe that the Hat Man comes around when there's traumatic experiences going on.
Yes, that's why he's the medicine man from the back.
Yeah, and like, because when I saw him as a kid, I never like told anybody. And then when Sarah said something about the Hat Man, I was like, oh shit! Like when I was a kid, I remember I had a U-shape. Like you could walk from the front door, and you could either go to the right and go down to the bedrooms in the hallway, or you could go straight and go into the kitchen, and it wrapped around into the living room, and it'd go back to the hallway. And I remember one time, like, I was going through some stuff when I was a kid, and I had seen him come in the living room randomly, and I went around the kitchen and freaked out and ran in my room, and I shut the door and got under the covers, and then he disappeared. And then I saw him one other time, but I didn't know other people had seen him.
Yeah, if your brother's going through a little bit of a traumatic, is he like a teen? I'm sorry, how old was he? How old is he?
8, but
it's the time when they get to see. Remember, I got my gifts at 8 years old is the time that they know right from wrong.
Yeah, those children, my family in itself, and those children especially, have seen more death at their age than a lot of people see in their 30s. We've just had so many funerals and so much passing. And one of them was my stepfather, who had also adopted them.
Oh, the one that
yeah, the one that's right behind me.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So like William actually saw Chaz pass away.
Oh
wow.
But he didn't understand because, you know, Daddy was taken to the hospital. So
yeah,
I think he's extending his hand to just help.
Because like when my mom told me first, I'm like, the Hat Man creeps me out. I never, because he's just.
Remember, they wore masks back then. They wore those things back then. But just because, like Holly said, just because they look creepy doesn't mean like.
Oh, I know that. But like he just creeps me out because like why can't I see your face? Like why are you just in a hat? Like I have so many questions. Why won't you talk? Why do you only open? Like no conversation.
Yeah. He probably creeps Sarah out too.
He does. Yeah. That's the whole reason why I have to sleep with the light on.
Like, why do you have a face? Why do you have 2 eyes? Why 2?
Yeah. Why do you talk so much?
Why do you have so much hair? Like, you know, so much, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know for sure that where I was last weekend or the weekend before, I know I creeped somebody out.
I love hearing Sarah's stories and stuff that happens to her when she gets creeped out. Because I love her to pieces, but I think I'm the one that kind of like, I don't know. Like she gets scared and then I kind of like, I have to be the bigger, like the, not bigger person, but like I have to like, I don't know, I'm the protector, I guess.
You are 100%. She's my protector because I'm the one that sees these things. Like when we're at Sweet Springs,
yeah,
and like, she wants to turn off the lights. She doesn't understand that I can see these actual apparitions, and like I don't want to see this tall guy staring at me in a kitchen. Like I don't want to see this. This is scary to me. And when the light is off, it gets even more scarier.
Yeah, no,
turn the light off and just walk down the hallway like bye.
I always set boundaries. I'm like, listen, I don't do jump scares, motherfucker.
Yep.
You're not going to talk to me telepathically, so go ahead and check it out. Because if you're in my head, I can do that. But if you're going to come up behind me, I feel you, because I can feel them. I mean, that's my big thing, my feels. I feel
energy.
Yes. And so I'm like, all right, because I'm like, yeah, I've been to Sweet Springs, actually. But, yeah, it's, I'm like, no, we don't do jump scares, because I had a spirit that come home with me from fucking the St. Albans.
St. Albans, yeah.
And I wasn't all the way home, but I was at a friend's house in Radford, and I went to go lay down, and everybody else was asleep in the house, and I like heard somebody go, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like that. I was like,
I've been like minding my business.
I was in my own lane.
No, it sounded like a man in the room with me. I swear. It's like I have never heard anything so clear in my life. And there was a little closet, and it was one of them thin closets. I'm like the white girl here. I'm gonna open the damn door. I'm gonna see what's behind there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna go, what's that? And there we go, walking toward it. I'm that person. So I'm like, so I go to open the closet. There's nothing there. I open up the door and I'm like, is anybody awake? And then like, anybody? You know, there's a cat going. Man, I laid back down. He grabbed my inner thigh, and that's what I went into. Okay, we ain't gonna be fearful here. We're gonna go into Constantine mode, baby. You gotta go. You gotta go back.
I was followed by something from St. Albans too, and something bad happened. And then once something bad happened, it went away. It was gone.
Yeah. Well, I see his ass packing because I mean, woof.
I stage and all that stuff now, and Palo Santo and everything.
God.
I'm gonna let that energy ball up, and we're gonna send you on, baby. You gotta go.
That's
I learned my lesson.
Like I had to sleep with the light on, like not light, but like a night light. Like, I have like a small lamp thing, like a moon underneath my desk that like eliminates my space. So illuminates my space, and so like. So that way I don't like wake up and like I'm just like bombarded by like all of these spirits in the pitch black, because that scares the crap out of me. You know what I mean? And especially like when people say that mediums should not be going into like the paranormal field, it kind of makes sense, because like whenever I go to a place, every time I go to a place, I see them everywhere. And Heaven's like, why are you so fucking afraid? And I'm like, bitch, because I see them everywhere. They're all over the place. Well, let's turn off the light. No, I don't want to turn off the light.
Like the little sister, I gotta speak with you.
No. You know what I've told people? Most of us have been drawn to the paranormal path for a reason. I was on it for a very long time, and it was so I could overcome fears, so I could understand myself better. The paranormal path is just not it. It is a path, and it's for us to learn. And that is like
we were accepted. That's
yes.
why we were accepted.
Yes.
Field.
Yes.
Nobody looks at you weird when you're like, I'm a medium in a paranormal. Oh yeah, you are.
Good. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have a question. If Sarah gets all like scared, I know me personally, when I see something crazy, I just get confused. Like I just look at it like I don't get scared. I'm just like, what the hell?
That's me. That's one of like
that scares me.
In front of me, and I run.
So like, yeah, what does everyone else do? Because I'm sitting there like, what the? Why the?
What the F was that?
Jump scares me. Then she throws me.
Yeah, Yes. If Heaven is in front of me most of the time, and I usually yeet her out of the way so I can go somewhere else. Like,
I mean, my
Like-
cat is black.
Who has a black cat?
Me.
I did.
I have
I got a black dog.
I have black dogs, yeah.
I
that
have two black cats.
black
I'm
cat.
allergic. My
Well,
son
I
has
have a poor cat, but what black cat is the one that's always looking like.
I am definitely a cat girl, but my wife is not. So cuddle with the dogs.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been an enlightening hour.
Fun.
Yeah. Ryan looks so
Ryan.
Diane-y.
Ryan-y.
I was enjoying the conversation.
Yeah. Did you learn anything new?
I always learn something new when I listen to you girls talk.
Yeah.
It was a
Do you
lot
feel
of fun.
feminine? No, I'm kidding.
He's so in touch with his feminine side.
I do,
Do you
girls.
feel
Oh my
like being in
god.
a room with
Like,
all of us?
seriously. No, I
Yes,
can feel
thanks.
your nails.
I'm excited. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It
well,
I
was
want to do
fun.
this again.
Yes.
Definitely.
We got to make this happen in person. When I come to
Yes,
I want to see
yes.
all of you
It'd be
guys.
fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I know Holly's going to be there in September,
Awesome.
Well,
and then
let's go.
you'll be there, Dana. I'm not sure if Rhonda's going to be there because she might have FPRI stuff to do.
When,
the-
when is
What's
it?
the date?
The world's largest ghost hunt.
We'll be in New York in September at some point.
We're going to be in New York at the end of September. The 22nd, I think.
Okay,
No.
ours the weekend after at the cabin, the 27th. I think.
National Ghost
I
Hunting
think
Day.
we're around that day. I don't think we have anything yet.
Okay,
So
we should all we need is Jeannie to come up. We can have like a reunion.
Babe,
I'll ride with Jeannie.
7.
Yeah.
to see how everybody because I know that we're all gonna every time I work with people, we usually come to the same conclusions, but we follow a different path to get there.
Yeah.
So
That's how we in heaven are.
Compare notes and especially if we all come to the path that I don't know how they were saying before, there's a man there. It'll be funny for us all to compare how we came to the point that there's a man there.
Yeah.
True.
I want to have a discussion on Abaddon 360 and kind of get everybody's evidence and get everybody's take on what's going on there, kind of thing. That would be
That'd be
a
cool.
badass show. That
Yeah,
would be a really good show.
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show. We'll get you guys back here
Yes.
in a couple of months, and we'll have another awesome discussion, guys.
Well, thanks for having us. I'll see you on the Switch.
Ladies, let's connect.
Guys.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Hey,
right.
that was fun.
That was fun.
That was
You guys did a great job
Thanks.
on the show tonight.
Thanks.
Gave me a night off.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was
Did you
enjoyable
have
to listen to the conversation.
Did you have a nice, peaceful, relaxing night off?
It was.
saw you dozed
I
off.
knew
What the heck?
even when you guys started talking, I'm like, I don't have nothing to add here. That would enhance the conversation. And honestly, there were so many people talking, it was kind of overwhelming. And I'm like, when do I even insert myself into the conversation?
Yeah.
There a couple of times I could have said something about when you talked about my mom and stuff like that, but I'm like, I'm just gonna let it go and just kind of not in a good way. I'm just gonna let the conversation flow and not insert myself into it, type of thing. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys did great. And next week is all about Pungo Paranormal.
All right.
So we are going to talk about some of the evidence you guys have captured. You gotta get them. Gotta send me the videos or whatever you want me to put on YouTube to share with with
Ooh.
everyone on
Yeah. I'm gonna go
Tuesday.
through everything tonight and tomorrow and the day after that. And then I know Heaven's got some stuff that she wants to send over too.
Like,
So,
I can add EVPs to the StreamYard probably and just
mhm.
play them on here. So
We have a lot of
it'll be
things.
fun. Thank you, Tammy. Hope you have a great night. Danielle, thank you for watching. CJ, Holly, of course, Tammy, everyone who tuned in, Shawnee, Danielle, Phil, Richard, Howie, Lois, Jen, Brenda, Michelle, everyone who, Daryl, thank you everyone for joining us tonight on this freaking awesome panel. And yeah, looking forward to next week. Who do you have on your show next week, Rhonda?
We are taking this Sunday off for Easter.
Okay.
So we don't
Well,
have
it is Easter, so.
But the next week, the 7th, we've got Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, medium.
Oh yeah. Then we have our show on 90s country.
90s country.
Yes. Are you a country music fan, Sarah? Do you want to join us and talk about your favorite country music
I don't know
songs?
anything about country. Diane, yes, I am a rock girl. I like.
Tell Diane to join us on the freaking awesome playlist. We're talking about 90s country.
Loves 90s and 80s country, so she would be a good little person to be on there, but she's too shy. So.
Oh, that's okay. You tell her to give me one song to play on the 90s country playlist. Give it
Anything Reba.
Oh, she likes Reba.
Awesome.
I'll throw some Reba on.
Yeah.
On the countdown. This is the final chapter of the country music trilogy.
She likes what's that? Fancy. She likes Fancy.
Fancy.
Man, don't say to me, don't leave it down. Heaven Nicole says boot scoot and boogie. Yes, that would probably be one of our choices.
I do not. I think the first time that I started listening to country was when her and I first started dating. That was the only, and I only listen to country when we're in the car because she doesn't listen to anything else. So
I'll play
she
country
hates
music.
my scream music.
Do what?
She hates my scream music. That's what she calls
Oh,
scream music. She said it gives her a headache.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be in the current kind of mood for that kind of music. But sometimes when you're driving down the road, you need some scream music to get you pumped up.
Yep.
Like seriously, like
For
it
the
can
trip. And I'm over here listening to like Enya and all that spiritual music. But sometimes I'll throw on some scream music, to get the blood pumping.
Screamo.
There we go. Yes, Heaven likes all kinds of music.
Me too.
Heaven, she can come on the show. She knows all about 90s country. Throwing some Tim McGraw on there.
I don't think she knows anything about Heaven. How much you know about country, girl?
She's throwing some stuff out there in lyrics too, so I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like I'm supposed to be your best friend. I'm supposed to be your ride or die. How do I not know that you like country?
So you learn something new about each other.
Seriously.
You learn something new every day in the freaking awesome paranormal show. We used to go to banquet in Norfolk. Go to like Texas Roadhouse here, a lot of country.
I like Texas Roadhouse. That's
me too.
Me too.
Like steak.
I'm gonna make me hungry. I'm gonna make me hungry. God, I can't even talk. I'm glad I wasn't doing the show because no, apparently not.
Are you having a stroke?
I make me talk. I'm having a stroke. Could be.
I just got trained in all of that stuff last week.
Well, then you would know. You would know. Tell me, am I having a stroke?
I don't know. Smile.
I don't smell toast or anything, so that's good. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right.
Hope you guys have a great Easter.
Yeah.
Enjoy whatever Peter Cottontail brings to you, and that's right. We back here talking about Pungo Paranormal on the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show. Same freaking awesome time. Same freaking awesome channel. Hope you guys have a great night. Bye.
Bye.